Think about what goes into a CV. So if you were going to go to industry for a job, you might have a 1-2 pages max resume. Like that's it. It doesn't matter what level you're at. You whittle everything you've done into 1 or 2 pages. Not in academia. You put everything in there. 6th grade spelling bee, 2nd place. Spelled euphoria correctly. You put all the students you advise, all of your papers, every talk you've ever given, every award you've ever gotten. And then what do you put at the top? You put your name in big bold print. You're basically building a tower that continues to get larger to glorify yourself. I think one issue with all of this is there's a term that I saw very recently. A researcher at Stanford coined this term, a successaholic. And I think the challenge for many of us in this room, if you're at a place like CalTech, you guys are successful. Let's just face it. You guys, you're talented, you've been blessed, you've worked hard, you are at one of the top institutions in the world for science, engineering, and technology. You are successful. And it's really hard to get to a place like this without having a long history of success. And the challenge is, it's really hard not to get addicted to that success. And I think that's the challenge that all of these people mentioned. Academics, Wall Street, entertainment. All of us have the same challenge of potentially getting addicted to success. So the question is, what can you do about it? Everything around you is telling you build a tower. Everything around you is telling you make a name for yourself. Everything around you is saying, I'm going to judge your value based on the amount of stuff that you accumulate. You're basically a slave to those things. So if you are in academia and you think like I thought, and I have to battle with daily. So just to be clear, I don't want to make it sound like this is something like I'm free and I'm the Zen master and I know exactly what to do, just follow me. This is a daily struggle because you're constantly getting pulled in by everyone around you into this game. It doesn't matter where you are, you can be a slave to this. So if you want peace, what can you do? Interestingly, the Bible has something to say about this as well. Jesus says in Matthew chapter 11, 28-30, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Notice that he essentially says, forget those other yokes. He doesn't present a life free from a yoke. You're going to be burdened. You're going to be a slave to something. There is no life where you are free from a master. You have something that you're hoping for, and that hope is going to drive you, and you are going to be a slave to that thing, whatever it is. All of us have one. If you take a step back and examine your life, there is something there that you hope for more than anything else. And that thing is going to drive your life. What Jesus says is that if you take up his yoke is easy and his burden is light. And the reason for that is there's a difference between having Jesus as master and these other things. All those other things tell you, sacrifice yourself for me. Academia is going to tell you, academia tells me, at a place like CalTech, I'm sure it tells you, it says, sacrifice yourself for me. Sacrifice your relationships for me. Sacrifice your sleep for me. Sacrifice your health for me. You see your advisors. I'm sure you see them neglecting their families. And then you see them successful. And you think, well, maybe that's the model that I need to follow. Everything is telling you, sacrifice yourself for me. It's all around us. Now, what does Jesus say? Jesus says, I sacrifice myself for you. It's the only master you can have that sacrifice himself for you. Every other master says, you kill yourself. Jesus says, no, I let myself be killed so that you wouldn't have to. That's why the burden is easy and the burden is light. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to accumulate something to justify yourself. Jesus has already done all of it. And so then you can go to academia or to entertainment or to athletics, and you can do it just because you're interested in it. You can do it just because you like it. It doesn't define you.